The seed of turmoil was sown in what seemed like the fertile soil of suburban peace. Emily, a young single mother, had devoted herself to building a secure and nurturing home for her 5-year-old daughter, Sophie. Their modest house on a serene cul-de-sac was their haven. The neighborhood, with its tidy lawns and warm smiles, felt like an extension of that refuge. Sophie, a lively child with a cascade of wild brown curls, ruled their small world with joy. Every afternoon, weather allowing, Sophie would explore the front yard, while Emily, ever watchful, kept an eye from the living room window, a warm mug of tea in hand. The front yard was Sophie's kingdom, place where dandelions were treasures, chalk drawings were art, and the old oak tree was a grand fortress. It was a realm of laughter and endless imagination, cherished by Emily as much as Sophie. The other mothers on the street knew Sophie, waving as they passed, sometimes pausing to chat while Sophie proudly displayed her latest creation, a carefully sculpted mud pie or a woven daisy crown. There was an unspoken bond among them, a shared understanding of motherhood's highs and lows. The neighborhood felt safe. That was the word Emily always used. It was why she'd chosen to live there, why she felt at ease letting Sophie play outside, why she could finally relax after years of hardship. But safety, Emily would soon discover, was a delicate illusion. A storm was approaching, cloaked in a crisp blazer and a flawless updo. The first hint came with a moving truck rolling down the street, parking in front of the long empty house next door. Emily watched with mild interest as movers unloaded boxes, wondering about her new neighbors. She hoped they'd be kind, perhaps with children for Sophie to befriend. She didn't know it yet, but that truck's arrival signaled the start of a nightmarious spiral into suspicion, accusations, and the stark realization that danger can come from the least expected corners. The peace she'd so carefully nurtured was about to unravel, forcing her to fight for what mattered most, her daughter. The stage was set, the players in place, and a drama that would forever alter Emily and Sophie's lives was about to unfold. The idyllic image of a child playing in her yard was about to become the heart of a terrifying ordeal. The storm took form as Margaret, who stepped from the newly occupied house like a figure summoned by the pristine suburban air. Her tailored blazer, a sharp shade of navy, stood out against the casual attire of other neighborhood mothers. Her blonde hair, fixed in a rigid bun, didn't stir in the breeze, and her sunglasses seemed to cast judgment. Emily, ever neighborly, wiped chalk dust from her hands and crossed the lawn to greet her. "Hi, welcome to the neighborhood," she said with a warm smile. Margaret turned, her sunglasses reflecting Emily's image like a warped mirror. "Margaret," she replied coolly, her voice clipped. "Margaret Sullivan." Emily responded, undeterred by the chilly reception. "Emily Carter. And this is my daughter, Sophie." Sophie, busy crafting a sandcastle, looked up and waved a sandy hand. "Hi," she chirped. Margaret's gaze lingered on Sophie a moment too long. "How industrious," she said, her tone suggesting otherwise. "Isn't she a bit young to be out here alone?" Emily's smile wavered. "Oh, I'm always watching," she assured her. "I can see her clearly from the window." Margaret raised a perfectly arched brow. "Clearly, from that distance? Don't children need closer supervision? Structured active ties, perhaps?" The subtle jab stung. Emily felt a protective surge. "Sophie's happy playing here," she said, her voice firmer. "She's very creative." "Creative ties is fine," Margaret conceded, her tone patronizing, "but children need discipline, retaining a proper intellectual environment. Free play doesn't prepare them for life's demands." Emily clenched her fists, resisting the urge to argue. She reminded herself Margaret was new, likely unaware of the neighborhood's rhythm. "Well, we're content with things as they are," she said, forcing a smile. "Maybe we'll talk more later." "Welcome again." She turned back to her house, a knot tightening in her stomach. Margaret watched her go, her eyes lingering on Sophie, who resumed her sandcastle, oblivious to the tension. A seed of doubt had been planted, one that would grow into something far darker. Margaret Sullivan's arrival marked the erosion of Emily and Sophie's peace. True to her first impression, Margaret found fault in everything: a slightly askew trash can, overgrown roses, Sophie's joyful laughter. One sunny afternoon, a week later, Sophie played outside while Emily, working from home, was on a tedious conference call, her laptop by the window. She kept an eye on Sophie, who was building a grand mud and twig castle, a sense of calm amidst the corporate drone. Then a shadow crossed Sophie's creation. Emily looked up to see Margaret at the lawn's edge, arms crossed, her face a mask of disapproval. Muting her call, Emily felt unease prickle her spine. Margaret approached Sophie. "Little girl," she said sharply, "where's your mother?" Sophie, startled, pointed to the house. "She's inside." "Inside? Leah, whying you out here alone?" Margaret's voice dripped with disdain. "Don't you know there are dangerous people out there? Strangers who could hurt you." Sophie's eyes widened, fear flickering. "No," she whispered, clutching her muddy hands. "There are," Margaret pressed, leaning closer. "Your mother should protect you, not neglect you." "Honey, I don't think she's taking good care of you." Emily, overhearing in horror, slammed her laptop shut and raced outside. "Margaret, what are you doing?" she demanded, her voice trembling with fury. Margaret turned, her expression shifting to righteous indignation. "I'm looking out for this child's well-being," she declared. "It's clear she's neglected. Any responsible person would be appalled." Emily's anger boiled over. "She's not neglected. I'm right here. You have no right to speak to my daughter like that." Margaret's eyes glinted. "Perhaps," she said calmly, "the authorities should decide that." Those words escalated a simmering feud into a crisis. Shaken, Emily ushered Sophie inside, locking the door. She tried to dismiss Margaret's behaviour or as overzealous, but dread took root. The next day, Emily kept Sophie indoors, distracting her with games and movies, but Sophie grew restless. "Mommy, can I play outside?" she pleaded. Emily relented, staying close on the porch, scanning the street. Margaret's house was quiet, curtains drawn. After an hour, Emily relaxed slightly, hoping she'd overreacted. Then she stepped inside for a moment to grab Sophie a glass of what a fleeting lapse that would haunt her. When Emily returned, Sophie was gone. Panic gripped her. "Sophie," she called, her voice breaking. No answer. She scanned the street, then saw it. Margaret's car pulling away, a small figure in the back seat. Rage and terror surged. Emily dialed 911, her voice choked. "My daughter's been taken. My neighbor, Margaret Sullivan, she took her." The suburban street became a battleground. At a nearby park, Margaret parked and turned to Sophie, who was crying softly. "Don't worry, sweetie," she cooed falsely. "I'll keep you safe. Your mommy isn't caring for you, but I am." Sophie whimpered, "I want my mommy." Ignoring her, Margaret approached a group of mothers, her voice loud with feigned outrage. "Excuse me, I need to report suspected child endangerment. I rescued this girl from an unfit mother." Pointing to Sophie, she continued, "She was left alone, clearly neglected." Before anyone could respond, Margaret called 911, claiming she'd found a distressed child and accusing Emily of being dangerous. Back home, police arrived, treating Emily as a suspect based on Margaret's call. "We've had a report of a kidnapping," an officer said sternly. "A woman claims you've abducted a child." Emily, frantic, explained Margaret's actions, but her distress made her seem unsteady. As police searched her home, Emily's panic grew. Unable to wait, she bolted to her car, heading to the park. There, she spotted Margaret with Sophie near the swings. Storming forward, Emily called, "Sophie, it's Mommy." Margaret tightened her grip on Sophie. "She's not safe with you," she snapped. A tug-of-war ensued, Sophie caught between them, crying. Police arrived, guns drawn, ordering everyone to freeze. Margaret accused Emily of kidnapping, her calm demeanor contrasting Emily's desperation. Without proof, Emily couldn't immediately claim Sophie, who was taken by child services. At the precinct, detectives questioned both women. Emily recounted Margaret's behaviour, while Margaret painted herself as a savoir. But neighbors' accounts and a background check revealed Margaret's history of false accusations. Under pressure, Margaret confessed to taking Sophie, claiming concern, but her story unraveled, exposing her obsession. Police found Emily's proof: Sophie's birth certificate, photos, records. Emily was cleared, and Margaret faced charges of kidnapping and false reporting. At the precinct, Emily reunited with Sophie, holding her tightly. "I'm here, honey," she whispered. Though traumatized, they were together. Margaret, unraveling, was hospitalized for psychiatric evaluation, her accusations rooted in personal insecurities. She faced justice, while Emily and Sophie began healing. With therapy and community support, they moved to a new home, rebuilding their lives. Emily became an advocate for abuse victims, finding purpose in her pain. Years later, she and Sophie reflected on their resilience, their bond unbreakable, their future bright with hope.